Yeah, what's going on, guys? Hey, this your boy American Pitbull Terrier sitting here bored as hell at work. System not working from home, looking at this pink wall that I'm painting while I'm supposed to be working. But anyways, man, I just feel like cutting the shit today. So I noticed I was going through Facebook and a lot of American Pitbull Terrier groups started popping up. I said, well, I'm bored. Let me go look, see what they're about. See, I see any good dogs up here. Right? Anybody know what they're talking about? Because, I'm still learning too. Even though I had the dogs for a while, I'm still learning. So, I go into the groups. And I notice a lot of groups are asking questions like, hey, do you condone Are you okay with dog fighting? Are you okay with dogs with battle scars on them? Blah blah. And they may be talking about from the past, but make it specific if you're talking about dogs from the past or something from the past. Because I feel like if I answer this question, even though I'm not doing nothing, they can look at it as me doing something. I don't know if I'm saying it right, as doing it, or either look at it for reason to put someone under investigation for answering that question who may have a love for the breed and not doing anything. They're always trying to catch us slipping, no matter what. Um, if you own one, two, three dogs, you're always going to look at like the outcast. I don't know why, but that's always the case. But I felt some kind of way about that question. I can't tell you what to do with your groups and stuff, but just be mindful. Like, if you ask a question, say from the past or something like that, or even think of another question to ask. Because you're asking somebody, hey, do you condone dog fighting? Or, yo, nah, man, I'm not answering that question. Even though I'm not doing nothing wrong, I'm not answering that question. That's just me. Like, that's just like, say for instance, you're not doing nothing wrong. You driving down the road, right? And a cop get behind you. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna put both hands on the steering wheel and make sure you driving right, right? Even if you was driving the speed limit, you're gonna be like, damn, what the fuck I do, right? So that question is kind of similar. Like, why would I answer that question and somebody could be looking at it or observing it? Facebook observes everything. They know what you putting up there. So be mindful of the questions. And like I said, I'm not telling you how to run your group or anything, but that question just rubbed me the wrong way. When I see stuff like that, I'm thinking like, yo, is this a setup or something? And it may not be, but just be careful, and people be careful with questions you ask too, and how you ask them. But anyways, enough about that. I'm gonna explain to you why what people would do to you when you own these dogs. Like, say for instance, I think about 2012. About what was it? No, I moved in that house about 2005, and then I moved to South Carolina in 2012. All right, so about 2006, 2012. Yeah. So back then, I used to have a yard full of dogs. I had about 10 dogs at a time, but I stayed in the middle of the city. You know, in the hood, but in the middle of the city. And my dogs were well taken care of. Um, they had their water. I had them 5-gallon buckets of water. And then for the ones that chewed on the buckets, I had foot tubs, the old foot tubs. Fill them up because I work 8-hour, 12-hour shifts, so that way they can have water during the day. Then I come home, change it out, rake up the yard. My son wasn't old enough to do this stuff yet. He was probably about 1 or 2 then. So one day I come home from work. I was working at Verizon at the time. I come home from work, and I noticed one of my dogs was missing. The one by the side of the fence where my neighbor was at, but way in the back. So I come home. I'm like, where'd my dog at? I know he didn't get it loose, because he got it loose, my backyard would have been tore up or something. So I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck is my dog at? So I go into the house, into the front door, like, and put my stuff down from work. Because like I said, the first thing I do, I go check on my dogs. And there was a note on the door from the animal control saying, hey, we got your dog. So I call. Nobody answered. I jump in the car, and go to the pound before it closes. So they was like, yeah, your neighbor was complaining about the dog chewing up her fence, and also the dog was vicious, so we put it back in there. But before they said that, I talked to the lady at the front desk. She said, yeah, they had a dog in a vicious cell, but I went back there and played with him. He was just the nicest dog I ever seen. I was like, so I said, okay. So after they finished, I said, well, the ladies told me she was back there playing with the dog. So that dog is not vicious, because they're trying to make me, first, what they do in vicious dogs in Suffolk, Virginia, is you have to get them neutered. You have to have them in a special cage confined where they can't get out. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that to my dog. Y'all came in my yard, took my dog for no reason. So then I'm like, hold up. My neighbor tell you that my dog is chewing up the fence. Are y'all fucking idiots? Like, because my mouth, I got a bad mouth on that. Underneath. I'm like, are y'all fucking idiots? Why the fuck would her fence be going around my fucking backyard? That don't make any sense. Why would my fence go around her backyard? First of all, yeah, the dog does pull on the fence because I have a little rope tied to the fence, which he pulls on. Okay? And it's not tied to the fence, it's tied to the pole. Now, there is no hole in the fence. First of all, if it was a hole, it's my fence. It belongs to me. Y'all fucking idiots. Y'all just wanted to take my motherfucking dog. You see that fence goes around my fucking yard and not her yard. Why would she have a fence on one side of her yard, not the other side of the yard, and then the rest of the fence is going around my yard? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, y'all need to give me my motherfucking dog right now. So after that, he was like, no, calm down. You're in this public building. You can't be talking like that. I said, fuck that shit. Y'all took my dog. I want my dog back right now. So they wouldn't get my dog. I was okay. I got a trick for y'all ass. So I said, y'all going to give me my... I said, okay, don't make me come back up here to get my dog. So I went in and called my lawyer up right quick, right? I called my lawyer while I was on the phone with him. And as soon as they found out that I had a lawyer, they was like, hold up. No need for that, Mrs. Smith. Go ahead and take your dog. Now, if I was a mean, vindictive person, I probably would have pressed charges on them or something. But, normally when you press charges against the city and shit, they be trying to find everything to get you. So they gave my dog. I took my dog home, tied him back up. My dogs were tied. They couldn't get it loose. Nothing. I had axles in the ground. I had the O-rings around the axle, chain. I had the swivels and everything on it. So they were tied good. So this is another day. I come home. I see the dog man standing in my backyard talking to the lady across the fence. So I get out my car and say, yo, is there a problem? What's going on? Why are you in my yard? Oh, and the dog man, I guess he was cool with my pops back in the day or something too. This one right here. So he's like, yeah, she called the cops, said the dog was chewing on the fence. I said, didn't we have this discussion before? I said, look, don't you see this fence going around my yard? I'm like, she is lying to you. I'm like, why would she buy a fence and put it around my yard? Does that make sense to you? And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, the dog is messing on the fence. I'm like, look, there's no holes in the fence. He'll jump up on it, try to get his rope or whatever. But even if he did, it's my fence. You can't do shit about it. And the dog man was like, yeah, he right. There's nothing you can do about it unless the dog is bothering you. And he knows there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm like, what's the problem? I'm like, if you have a problem, I'm your next door neighbor. You could have came and knocked on the door, and you could have said something to me. I'm right here. I speak to you every day. I wave my hand to you. I say, hey, how you doing? Good morning. I ask you, how you doing? Speak to you. If you had a problem with me, you could say anything then. But you're going behind my back, calling the animal people on my dogs, and then you're lying about it. She's like, well, I have my grandkids over here, and I'm scared they're going to attack my grandkids. I'm like, ma'am, have my dogs ever growled at you or anything? No, they have not. So why? But pit bulls are dangerous. I'm like, ma'am, look. These dogs haven't growled at you once, haven't bit at you once. I'm like, see, normally I would be nice about this and accommodate you because that's what type of person I am. But fuck that shit. You went and lied on me and tried to get my dogs taken away from me. So you know what? Fuck you. That's what I said. I'm sorry. I don't care. Fuck you, ma'am. You know what? I have nothing to say to you. You call the law on you call the animal people on my dogs again, and lie on me. I'm gonna sue your fucking ass. Simple as that. So, I guess she ended up. So then, come to find out, she didn't even own the house. She was renting the damn house. I'm like, yo, but the shit you have to go through with people and these dogs. I have some more stories with you later.